So how many do we have? 5 to get through?
Yeah.
I can be the time police if you want.
I think we
Go
got
ahead.
more than that. Well, we had 5 here and then 2 games from this morning
Yeah,
that we didn't
let's
get
at least
to.
get through this 5, and if we have time for more, that will be excellent. Michael. Okay, so we get back, my mouse back. Back we are. Okay. Typically, when you're pincered here, you don't go for a side position because you can't make a good extension. So most commonly from here, you would see this. I don't like making an extension with the corner incomplete, but it's important to keep this white stone destabilized. You could go this way, or you could reverse the order, play this one first. If white extends, come down on the side. And then, of course, there's a famous Joseki this way from this position. Something like that. Both these are reasonable ways to go. In terms of Joseki knowledge here, from White's perspective, because Black cannot make a good extension, White likes to reinforce this way, denying Black a base locally. Now Black is a little bit hampered in terms of developing because there's no good extension here. Consequently, the exchange of these stones for these stones is not a positive exchange for Black. They haven't netted Black the security that the stones were intended to create.
I thought about that locally, but then I really wanted Sente, and I was hoping he would Hane, and I could Tanuki to approach a corner. Do you think that's too hasty?
Well, Sente is not as valuable as this area is. Look here. Because these stones are not yet stable, this stone has a very high value as a pincer, putting pressure on a group which is not yet stable. We come back to the game diagram. Because these stones are stable, this stone has a very low value, being close to a strong position. So that what happened in through here is you undermine the value of your own stone in this area, and you rush to get on to the next area. Is this right? I don't think this is right.
I don't know the Joseki here.
I think this is right. I don't think you're afraid of this, because when you create this cutting point, you can deal with the situation. This area is not complete. From Black's perspective, I think Black wants to do this. White is not in any position to fight back, and now White has been forced down to the third line, and Black is on the golden line. Now if you want to break away, that would be fine. But this area isn't complete yet. It's not finished off. There's a huge move left here. That's why I believe it's correct for White to play there, because it's too good a point to give to Black. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Another opportunity here. Let's see, how long does it take to get back? So this is when somebody gets back to this area. That's 28. I wanted it played at 17. Well, that's actually not so bad, only 11 moves.
I actually meant to put that as stone to the point to the left, but it was
You
too
want
late
here?
once it was on the board. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Seems like it would have been prime one to the left of my white stone at the top. So you could do Mii extension.
Normally, when white doesn't answer, the most common thing is for white to play the symmetrical move, and then of course you're intending to extend down the side, is to press on the stone. That takes advantage of the fact that white didn't respond directly, and by pressing down you develop a good position. This is a little, just giving the stone up like this is too submissive. As white, I would be very, very inclined to answer this move. This is not a bad point so far as it goes. Whoa. Okay. What happens to this?
Season.
That looks pretty good.
It's too good for black.
It's just not fair.
Wow.
Wow.
If white doesn't resist, then white loses the base utterly. If this group becomes baseless, then this stone is dead. So white is really not easily able to resist black here. That's why I want to answer this stone. If you consider here, look at let's just come back to here. Let's look at this battlefield in through here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 black stones bear on this battlefield. White has 1, 2, 3, 4 stones here and 1 stone here. What is white thinking to accomplish where he's so badly outnumbered? He's going to make all his groups live and give black no territory, and that's the way Go works? The game isn't like that. You know, where your opponent has more strength, he's entitled to more benefit, and you have to be prepared to concede that to him. From white's perspective, in this area where he's badly outnumbered, if he has one secure group and can control the amount of territory that black has, he should be very happy. Especially since, in addition to controlling black's territory here, this position started off with the exchange where this stone was given up and white was given value over here. I mean, white's been piling up profits. White's thinking in this area is a little bit greedy. Yes, I'm badly outnumbered. Yes, all my groups are weak, but who cares?
That's kind of how I operate, but I do concede to your wisdom.
So here, I think if black had threatened to scoop out the position, white is in real trouble, and black is going to get something of very substantial value. No reason to hold back here. What are we afraid of? And then here, the value of being able to play a sente move there is so high that it's very difficult to let that to let that go. If black is not intending to answer this move, I think black shouldn't answer this move. I think the value of the next move here for white is less than the value of the next move here. And then this is a low value area for white. White has to think of a different way to deal with this. If you expand the battlefield a little bit, I mean, there was an enormous, overwhelming advantage for black in through here. If we expand the battlefield to include these 4 white stones and these 2 black stones, it gets even worse for white to that extent. Note that black has this aim over here. This group is not alive yet. This group is not alive, this group is not alive, this group is not alive, you're badly outnumbered. This is just not any way to be successful. Worst case scenario is nothing here dies, but this area gets trashed. I mean, that's your best case. It doesn't get any better than that. And there's no winning scenarios from this kind of play. It isn't even necessary to kill these stones. It isn't really that necessary to attack them to win the game. Essentially, all black has to do is just keep white playing dame moves for the next 100 moves, and when the counting happens, black will be the winner. That's the thing, see, when you defend, you think, okay, he's not killing me, so what is he getting? Well, let's turn this around. Okay, what are you getting? Every time you play a move, it's a dame move. There's no points for you on the lower side. There's no points for you on the left side. There's no points for you in this entire region of the board. There's no place where you can put down a stone and get a point. So what are you getting for yourself? You know, the fact that you're denying your opponent something is a legitimate gain to be sure. But if at the end of the game you've got 0, how are you winning? You know, it's not enough just not to die. There has to be some benefit or point to your moves. And in this area, there's nothing that's going to happen for you that's positive. So from white's perspective, white would like to find a nice way to give this stone to black in such a way as this area becomes controlled. That's really white's aim. White is trying to sell this to black at a favorable price. And it's just a question of finding the artful way to do that.
When I thought about move 48, I thought about just continuing to jump from my group on the left, and I thought black would continue to jump underneath, and that would be too much territory. I would be perpetually behind. So I thought I had to get desperate down there, although that might be inaccurate.
So this is fine. This takes away a high value move from white, and white has to connect. How about, white never answered here. How about we do this? What does white do next?
I was waiting for that.
If white wants to mess around, this kills all the white stones, this point here. You know, if white wants to do something like that, they're dead. There's no eyes, no escape, there's nothing. So clearly white is going to, this is going to be a forcing move against white. And let's say white does this perhaps.
That's what I had planned.
Okay. Then when black plays here, you're going to what, do this?
I don't know, I'd have to read it.
And then when black plays here, you're going to do this. And then later on in the game, you'll dump these stones off for additional after profit for black. You don't have a choice. If you try and keep them, everything is done. Okay, so through here, nice sente sequence for black, reinforcing after profit coming from capturing these 2 stones in the territory they represent. Is Mr. White still liking the way he's been playing here?
No.
You know, I don't mean to be mean-spirited about it. That's not my point. The point is that if you just think, you know, are my stones going to live or die, you're not even asking the right questions, and you're not playing the game of Go yet. It doesn't matter whether they live or die. Everything is about profit. While you're making your stones alive, you're not getting profit. You want to be steering the game into directions where you get profit. And in particular, particularly as you get stronger, Sente and Gote become more and more important. Look at the advantage, the amount of points that black got here in Sente. You put so many stones down and committed to them, you couldn't afford to give them up. Black just plays one more move, takes the whole area, and you're hopelessly behind in territory for the whole game. So black stops you. You're forced into this position of living cravenly underneath, simply because you can't afford to die. This is Sente. There's a big profit coming up with nipping off 2 stones and another 15 points. And now black comes back to this area. You just simply can't afford to give this kind of Sente value away. That's another factor about attack and defense. Attack and defense is very intimately connected up with Sente. When you're attacking, you're getting Sente benefits. When you're defending, your opponent is getting sente benefits. As you leave weak groups around and are spending all your time defending them, not only are you getting profits for yourself, but your opponent is piling up benefits in sente. He doesn't have to get a lot. If he's just getting a few points here and there, if you consider how many weak groups you have that you have to take care of. Okay, now we've played through to here and it's still black's turn and white has 3 points. And when black comes back to this area, he can get 15 points. And now black is going to turn over to this position. Let's just play Hana here. You know, and now attack some here, through here some more. See, now this is turned into secure territory. So now what's happening in terms of this area of the board? Well, in terms of secure territory, we have, you know, 15 plus over here. We have this 15 points to follow. Black has something like 20 over here. This is another 20 over there, so that's 20, 40, 55. There's another 15 here. He can get up to 70. If he links across here, he's got another 15. That makes 85. And white's getting 0 here. White's got 3 here. White's can be scooped out over here, which is problematic for white. And as white is playing in through here, black is establishing a power line across here. That means then when black finally turns up to this area, he can just walk white out without a care. And with this power backdrop, you can't attack him, you can't hurt him, you just can't stop him. So that at the end of the game then, you've got your 3 points here, you'll have maybe 8 points here, you'll have 2 points here. So that's 5 and 8 is 13. When he walks this stone out, this will be worth, say, 25, and this will be worth 5. So that's 30 and 15 is 45, and he's got 85. That's it. And it has nothing to do with living or dying. You know, the fact that he can't kill you, who cares? It isn't even relevant. It's not what Go is about. It's about the profits. When you leave weak groups, you give your opponent sente profits. That's what you can't bear. Now, to some extent, you're being permitted to be successful because black is passing. Instead of attacking your stones, when you have, the more your opponent has weak groups, the more you attack. Do not stop attacking. Increase your attacking. Put the hammer down. Probably so many of these stones are dead, but who cares? You don't even have to kill them to win the game, but you do have to keep attacking. You start playing dummy moves or moves off the battlefield, and now for the first time there's some hope that your opponent can be successful. So keep after it. The first thing is, again, completion. Your opponent has not run out to the point of safety. All you have to do is plunk a stone down to stop him. You know, he didn't play there, you come back and play there. This is